First off, you have to see yourself in the places you desire to be. You have to see yourself experience the things you desire to experience. And sometimes it may not happen when you want it to happen, but it'll eventually happen. That's a part of life. Everything has a time stamp, has a course of travel, has a journey before you get to it. Sometimes we look at life for the moment that we in and not the direction that we trying to go. Sometimes we can't see the tree for the woods. It has a blinding effect. So when you have the vision, get out there and focus on that vision. When you feel like you can do something, get out there and focus on doing that. A lot of times we stop, pursuing our goals, pursuing our dreams for other people. You come first, then other people. Because if you're not happy with self, you ain't gonna be happy with nobody else, around you or whatever the case is. So that being said, just open your mind, be a visionary. Look at where you're at, where you would like to be, and how you would go about getting where you would like to be. Now, for some people, it could be simple things. Some people just want a vacation. Some people just want their bills paid at the end of the month. Some people just want to purchase their first home or purchase their first new car or, you know, uh, buy a certain kind of shoes or a certain kind of clothes. They just want to experience those moments, and that's cool. That's life. That's something that we all do. That's a path that we all cross. That's something we have to experience if that's what you desire to experience. As far as buying a house, yeah, that take times. It takes times. It takes discipline. It takes setting goals and maintaining that discipline factor to get to where you want to be. A lot of times, I set goals for myself. A lot of times, I upset myself because of my goals that I'm setting for myself. They're high, and I'm a person that I move a certain way. So I may say today what I want to do. It might not materialize or start to gain any traction for a month or two, and I procrastinate. That's something that I'm trying to get away from. Me doing this is part of that because this episode right here, I had this thought on my mind about being a visionary and talking and conversating about being a visionary. I didn't feel like getting up to do it. I don't have nothing stopping me from doing what I'm doing right now in this moment in time. I have the time. Do I have the desire? Do you have the desire to keep doing things when you don't see results? The gym is the biggest place that everyone can relate to. You go there today, you don't lose weight necessarily today. You don't have a life-changing experience necessarily today. Depending on your diet, depending on your workout regimen, you may start seeing things within a week. Depending on how drastically severe you start cutting things from your diet, then again, it may take you a month. Everyone's path, as far as that, is different. So, my suggestion is focus on what you're trying to do. Get you some steps. If you don't like to write, and I'm a non-writer, I'll type me a note in my iPhone of what I'm wanting to do or a thought that may come to my head that I want to explore, or something I saw that I want to explore or research, whatever the case is. But you have a vision. Sometimes you wake up and you have these visions and you're like, man, what does this mean? Like, I want to experience whatever that is. Because for some people, it's different. For a lot of people, it's different. I never saw myself with the first home I bought. I saw myself wanting to build the home that I bought. And I guess in my situation, and maybe some others have experienced this, but that was a very rare thing. I remember vividly going to a home builder with my wife, and I fell in love with the design of this particular home, and I really wanted it to build on our property. Now things didn't work out, and we ended up buying a home. But what's ironic to me, we ended up buying the same home that I wanted. The only difference was this one actually came with a garage. I think that if I added a garage to the one that we were going to have built, I think it would have been like another 67,000 at that time. And to me, that was a lot of money in 2015. But I ended up same house, same color, same ranch style design, 2-story home. And I remember when we closed on the home, we started moving in and making that house a home. I remember saying to her and saying to God, like, I couldn't have dreamed this, because at that time I still had the printout of the home that was identical that I wanted to get built. I had the bill sheet, what it would cost to get started, everything that's needed. Same house. I couldn't ask for a better setup, but I didn't see that. So I wasn't, visionary in that aspect at that time. I was still, mid 20s. I didn't have the mindset that I have now. I was, I wasn't educating myself as much. I wasn't staying informed as much with certain things. I was just a guy that worked, come home, clean his truck, drink a few beers, cook on the grill, go back to work. Boring life. Now as I get older, I look at my kids, I look at my wife. There's things that I want to experience, and there's things that I want them to experience. And there's a lot of things that they have experienced that I didn't get to experience. And that's no knock on my parents or any family members and relatives. That's more of a change in the times, and you should want your children to experience what you didn't as a child. You should want your kids to achieve what you didn't as a child, because it could be beneficial to them in their time. And for a lot of people, they don't really see it like that. They still want you to be who you were for them, but you got to be your own. So being a visionary, man, is really about looking into the future, having futuristic thoughts on a path that you want to travel so you can get where you're trying to get, the place that you desire to be. For a lot of people, that looks different. For a lot of people, it's a calm, boring life. For a lot of people, it's an ambitious life. You have to have some form of ambition or you won't have anything. You have to have some form of drive or you won't have anything. You don't want to wake up and every payday you owe everybody but yourself. You want to put yourself at the top of the list in every category, because if you ain't right, your body's a temple. If you're not right within, everything around you gonna start to crumble. And the weakest part of any structure is the foundation. That's the weakest part of any structure. I don't care how it's built. I don't care how it's standing. I don't care if it's bolted and welded together. If the foundation is weak, so is the structure. The integrity, the structural integrity, the strength of it is weak. And as people, we're the same way. If you compromise us, if you compromise our body or body parts. I mean, you hear it on the news all the time. They don't say it, but oh, you have a compromised immune system. People with this condition, they don't say what the condition is. But if you have a compromised immune system, that means you can't fight off sicknesses. So it's better to be prepared, be in front of whatever it is you're looking to achieve in life. And I hope whatever it is that you get, or whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve, you get. I hope you receive it. However you gotta get it, as long as you don't rob, shoot, steal from people to achieve it. I'm cool with it. I want you to have it. I don't care if you got more than me. I don't care if I got less than you, because that's all in the eye of the beholder. That's all in the thoughts in the mind. You know, you got to walk around with a mind state that isn't equivalent to everyone around you. Not that you're better than them. Your mind state is just different than theirs. And a lot of people don't have that same mindset. You know, a lot of people really just they want to be who they are and be like top dog. They want that recognition. They want whatever comes with it. They want people around them to just gravitate to them. And I'm cool with that. That's not me. So as you journey in life and you want to achieve these things, whether it's good credit, whether it's certain incomes on your job, or a different career path that's going to get you the income that you desire. If you want a certain vehicle, you want to live a certain place, you have to envision seeing that. If you don't envision seeing that, you won't even experience it. It won't pique your curiosity enough that you will put in some form of effort to achieve it. That's the hardest thing for most people because we'll get to the race, but we don't want to run. We see the finish line, but we don't want to run. We want to be a spectator. We want to watch and observe everyone else running, taking them chances, falling down, getting back up. We want life to come to us already packaged, bundled. I don't got to do nothing with this. This is perfect. And that ain't how life works. The best lessons and greatest lessons come from failure. A lot is learned in the midst of failure. So for people to have this mindset of, let me get the whole package already together, I don't have to do nothing, plug and play, that doesn't work with everything. It might work with electronics. It might work, with if you want to get a car or a vehicle, brand new, custom built, well, not custom built, but ordered from the manufacturer the way that you want, yeah, that might work. But there going to be some discrepancies there. We don't live in a perfect world, and they expect, perfect outcomes and perfect situations most of the time is just unrealistic. I strongly believe that your ambition will drive you. And this goes back to the ambition that I said earlier. So with all of that being said, if you're very ambitious, if you got very high goals, you should turn out all right in life. You should be able to do a lot, see a lot, experience a lot. I mean, there's some people in this country that have never left the country. And that's no knock on them. Their circumstances didn't allow them to do that. And that's fine. I don't knock anyone for their circumstances. I don't knock anyone because of what life threw at them. It's how you react. How did you react to it? Did you fold? Did you try to defend it? Or did you just take it? Sometimes you got to be subtle. Sometimes you got to be aggressive in your reaction depending on the circumstances. Everyone's reaction is going to be different in different situations. What get up under your skin and drives you is going to be different in different situations. Sometimes it's your best friend that's going to push you. Sometimes it's a sibling that's going to push you. Sometimes it's something that you see with other friends, family, and coworkers that's going to push you. You don't realize where the push is coming from necessarily all the time, but it's there. It's there. And for some of us, we need just a little nudge. Step out on fear, because fear is the shit. That hold you back more than anything. If you can conquer that lion, that beast, you'll be all right. Procrastination and fear, it holds you back from so much that you don't see it until you get over that hurdle and you look at life, you look back at what you accomplished, and it's like, damn, I held myself back all this time for nothing. And it's easy to say that to someone if you've already accomplished something or conquered a fear that they're afraid of. It's easy to say, oh, it ain't that bad, man, you got it. Because you already experienced it, and that's the biggest thing, one of the most important things about life is those experiences because as you get older, you get wiser. You have children, they get older, they get wiser. You're able to pass along a lot of that wisdom to them. You may say things to them today that they don't understand at all. But 10, 12 years down the road, 20 years down the road, they may say, man, you remember when you said such and such. You don't remember it. But it sounds like something you'll say. Oh, okay. I finally get it. I finally understand now. I think for any parent, especially a father to his son, hearing his son say, I finally understand now is great. I think it's a great thing because it lets him know, it confirms to him that, hey, man, I did a good job raising you. I think it's a great thing that he was there, especially for those of us that have active fathers. I think it's a great thing. So there's things that you're gonna do that's a reflection based upon whoever that father figure was in your life impacted your life and how they raised you. So with that being said, we're gonna check out on this one. Appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you.